Alright, we got a flight plan that we're going to load in here. We're going to be doing KVLD to KACJ. We're going to depart on runway 31. We have the flight simulator trip planner thing lay out a course for us. This in pink is the landing procedure plot that it laid out for us. We're in a Cessna 172. We're going to go to weather. We're going to do live weather, but we're going to move the time down just a touch. Let's do 7 a.m. Where's the sun? Alright, let's change the time a little bit. Let's try 7:48. That one's a little bit better. Like it's just starting to get light out. Alright, so I think we got everything loaded and set. We're going to have to do some communication with ATC.
Valdosta Tower Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha at runway tree 1 ready for departure IFR to Kilo Alpha Charlie Juliet.
Alright, let's see what we got going on here. We're going to sign into Bush Talk. We're connected there. I'm not sure if there's anything along the way, but we'll check. We're cleared for takeoff, runway 31. That's where we are now. Right on runway 31. Alright, we're going to go into the cockpit here. We're going to zoom. Now we got to do a few different things in the Cessna 172. The first thing we have to do is recalibrate our barometric meter. So we did that. We are going to do a little instrument testing stuff here, or setting stuff here. So on this, I think we're going to set our cruising altitude is 2600. I think we're good to go there. We'll do the rest in the air. Alright, so we are going to take off. We're going to increase the RPMs and then turn off the parking brake. Recenter. We're going to move up a little bit so we can get a good view. Getting there. We're in. We can lift off any second now. We might stretch it out to that little red area down there at the runway. ATC is going to contact us in a second. We're going to slide our header over.
Golf Sierra Alpha contact Moody departure on 126.6. Good day. 126.6 Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha. Goodbye.
Tune into Moody departure 126.
Moody departure Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha is at 800 feet, climbing 3,000 feet. Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha Moody departure altimeter 29.83 radar contact. Continue to track up.
Oh, we're going to 3,000 feet. Just that. We're going to turn our heading. Somewhere around 348. Alright, so now we're going to turn autopilot on. Heading, and then we toggled on FLC mode, which should bring us up to the target of 3,000 feet. We're going to adjust our heading. Just a little bit to try to line up with our flight path. And then this leg is 348 degrees. We're currently at 353 until we intersect with that white line. Probably zoom in here. Alright, we just flew over it. So we'll adjust our heading a little bit to the left. Oh no, we're looking for the pink line. Never mind. We gotta go the other way. Alright, so a lot more instrument flying on this one. We'll make a pretty good turn towards that pink line. That's where our route is. As we're getting up there, we'll adjust this back, just like that, and there we go. we are pretty much right on line here. When the center piece goes to the right or to the left, it means we're to the right or left of the navigation line. So we are currently following Route 75, and in about 30 seconds here, we're going to make our first change over here to heading 293. Maintaining 3,000 feet. Alright, we are dead center on that line. Alright, so now we are going 17.2 nautical miles, so we're going to take a trip out of the plane. We got the sunrise in our back. Nice scenery there. We are following along on our flight plan here. So from Valdosta to just north of Americus, and that's going to be in Georgia. So I think what I'm going to do testing this flight is we're going to head up to here next, which I think, yeah, right here. We'll probably go to Atlanta International Airport and then make our way up into the mountains. So this is my second test flight using this sort of flying technique. So we still got a little ways to the next point. And what was I going to show you? Oh, this. So I just loaded 3 Google Map overlays. This is the satellite one. So now we can actually view some of the roads a little bit better than on OpenStreet. So OpenStreet, the original one, looked like this. A little harder to read, don't really know what roads these are. It's a little harder to find them. So I kind of figured maybe load up the Google Map and get a little different view on the flight planner. So we are coming up to Lawson Peach Shed. We're going to check Bush Talk. So Bush Talk is here. We just flew out of Valdosta.
Valdosta is a city in and the county seat of Lowndes County in the U.S. state of Georgia. As the principal city of the Valdosta Metropolitan Statistical Area, which in 2023 had a metropolitan population of 151,118, according to the U.S. Census Bureau, its metropolitan area includes Brooks County to the west. With a city population of 55,378 in 2020, Valdosta is the home of Valdosta State University, a regional university in the University System of Georgia with over 12,000 students as of 2021. Located in the far southern portion of the state, near the Florida line along the Interstate 75 corridor, it is a commercial center of South Georgia with numerous manufacturing plants. The surrounding area produces tobacco, naval stores, particularly turpentine, as well as pine lumber and pulpwood. According to the Georgia Department of Community Affairs, Valdosta is called the Naval Stores Capital of the world because it supplies 80% of the world demand for naval stores.
Alright, and right over here, this is our estimated time to our next waypoint. So we got about 3.5 minutes. Got rid of that flashing right there, so I reduced the RPMs a little bit.
Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha contact Jacksonville Center on 133.7. Good day. 133.7 Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha. Goodbye. Jacksonville Center, Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha 3,000 feet.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha Jacksonville Center altimeter 29.85 radar contact. Continue to CRSR. Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha contact Jacksonville Center on 132.3. Good day.
COSR, I'll explain what that is in a second.
Going to 132.3 Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha. Jacksonville Center, Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha 3,000 feet. Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha Jacksonville Center altimeter 29.85 radar contact. Continue to CRSR.
So according to the flight plan that we made, COSR is the next waypoint, and we're basically just notifying air traffic control that we're on our way over there. We're flashing on the speed again. I'm going to reduce RPMs. And we're now 1 minute away from our waypoint, so CORSR is our next waypoint. We should be there in 50 seconds. See another line should branch off because we're going to be changing our heading to 316. I'm going to anticipate that turn a little bit because we're a little bit to the left. There's the turn off. Start adjusting our heading. Alright, and this waypoint, or stretch, is 32 nautical miles. Estimated time is 15 minutes. We're still cruising at about 3,000. We're going to be crossing over that. We'll check bush talks. Looks like we're coming up to another airport. That's this one right here. That is KMGR. Off to our left, which you can't see. So that's Thomasville. we have a bush talk on that.
Thomasville is the county seat of Thomas County, Georgia, United States. The population was 18,881 in 2020. The city deems itself the City of Roses and holds an annual Rose Festival. The city features plantations open to the public, a historic downtown, a large farmers market, and an oak tree from about 1,680 at the corner of Monroe and Crawford Streets. History. Thomasville was founded in 1825 as seat of the newly formed Thomas County. It was incorporated as a town in 1831 and as a city in 1889. The community was named for Jet Thomas, a general in the War of 1812. The climate in this area is characterized by hot, humid summers and generally mild to cool winters. According to the Köppen climate classification system, Thomasville has a humid subtropical climate.
Well, Thomasville, Georgia history lesson. Alright, everything's still looking good. Flying this is relatively easy once you learn it. I wouldn't mind trying to figure out how to get rid of the little pop-ups here. Oh yeah, there's one more thing we gotta do. So, on our flight plan, I'll bring this over. So during the landing procedures, we gotta tune our radio frequency to 110.5. So, in order to do that, we gotta change this to location 1. And then 110. .5. Now we can put this back to our flight plan here. Get a whole view. We can get rid of the yoke here so you can see what the inside of the cockpit looks like. We're going to adjust our pitch a little bit, or flight path. So this is basically what the C-172 looks like. We have 11 minutes to the next waypoint. Got another guy up here. He's at 38,000, a little over 38,000 feet. We're sitting at 3. We're doing a little low so we can kind of look at the scenery a little bit. And I'm not even sure the Cessna 172 can go that high. That's got to be like a Boeing or something. We got another guy here. They are at a little over 21,000 feet. They are in a Boeing. It's a B-738. passengers on board here. Nice looking plane. Probably one of my favorites to fly. It's a Skyhawk. See if we can get that on the back of the tailgate. It's a Cessna Skyhawk C-172. Everything's still looking pretty good. Adjust our flight path a little bit. We keep veering off a little bit. But easily adjustable, we're not straying too far away. So this is what I was saying before. So on this, on our compass, when the center line is off of these two lines, it means we're to the left of our flight path that we set in there. As we get closer to it, this line's going to move and line up with that. So if we adjust our heading a little more, we can get that to go a little faster. And now we're pretty much lined up. Easy peasy. You know, we're sitting at 117 degrees or 317 degrees. Our flight path was set for 316. And this is saying that we should be at 313 in order to catch up to it. Or no, I don't know what that's telling me. Cancel that. 16 or 6.5 minutes left to go to the next waypoint. If we bring over our flight plan, there we are over here, and we're going to be going over to our next waypoint, which is SALER, and we're going to be changing from 315 over to 343 degrees. And we're going to go for 20 nautical miles until we get to our next thing there. So we're getting handed off.
125.75 Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha. Goodbye. Jacksonville Center, Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha 3,000 feet.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha Jacksonville Center altimeter 29.86 radar contact. Continue to sailor.
So that's our next waypoint. Check push talks. We don't have too much going on now until we get up into the mountains. coming up to Albany, Georgia, though. But no bush talk on that. But they do have one thing here. So they got Fossil Dunes, which is 71 meters. Not sure how close we'll get to that. But everything's pretty flat. That's why we can kind of fly at this kind of altitude. We haven't made our way too far out of Florida just yet. But we will. And I got some flight plans coming up. So I'm thinking about doing a sunrise flight. Either sunrise or sunset. Let me know which one you think would be better. I guess it might depend on which way we're heading. But I don't know. Leave a thing in the comment if you have a preference either way. And we're actually going to be landing the plane like this. As opposed to the exterior view, we're going to be landing it as if we're flying here. So basically going to be looking like this to land. I figured recenter it and then you can kind of peek over the dashboard, kind of get a look at the runway. Minor adjustment to the flight path. How are we looking now? We got 3 minutes, just under 3 minutes left to go to Sailor. That's the next waypoint here. SA. So we went from COR, SR to SA, LER. Peek out the window. See the little tracts of land. Atlanta should be good. We'll make our way to Atlanta on the next trip. We'll see kind of like what a city looks like as opposed to some farmland. We're going to look over here. We're going to zoom out just a little bit so that we can see the waypoint. And then after we land, we are going to request parking. So let me zoom out on our flight plan. I'll zoom in on the airport. See how big the airport is. I don't even know. It's a small airport. So we're going to land on runway 05 and then basically just take an exit ramp off to the right and the parking will be right there. We'll probably be instructed to follow A. That's the taxiway A. Alright, so we're going to be turning here. We're a little bit left again, so we'll set our course there. Oh, nice. Southwest Georgia Regional is 12 miles away. But this next leg of the trip is 20 nautical miles, so about a third or 2/3 of the last trip. Probably get handed off soon. Is my guess. So we're going to be flying just to the left of Southwest. That's KABY. And then after we pass it, we're going to hit the next waypoint, which is PZD. And while we're here, I'm going to adjust the trim. I think. Maybe not. Alright, so we are cruising along pretty nice on our path here, and I'll explain what some of this is. So, all of this is what I set. So we set our departure airport, we set the runway, and then these next two down here is the departure procedures that's laid out by the airport based off of that runway. And then this flight path here, KREKE, COR, SR, SA, LER, PZD, JI, MOP, GUMKE, all these are waypoints that's set by the flight path here. And these here, starting with JIMOP, is part of the approach protocol. So when you click on this airport here, you can get procedures for landing on a certain runway, and it spits it out to you. Alright, we are looking at almost 9 minutes, just under, it's 8 minutes 54, or 8 minutes 45 seconds left. So, with that said, and since we got everything locked in, I'm going to go pour myself another drink and I will be right back. Alright, so we got another drink. It's always important. We're going to adjust our heading here. So that's the airport up there. That's Georgia Southwest Regional. Take a look over the dashboard, zoom in, and we'll move this over so that we can see it. Alright, 6 minutes, 20 seconds. Alright, since Bush Talk doesn't have much going on, this is the town of Albany, Georgia. Check our thing there, so we're pretty much right on there. Everything's looking good here. And we still got 3 minutes, 20 seconds going on, or to the next waypoint. So, Albany, Georgia. Let me see if I can find something on Albany, Georgia. So, Albany is a city in southwest Georgia. The Flint River highlights the Flint River has turtles and alligators. That's basically what they say. Downtown's Ray Charles Memorial features a life-size statue of the musician who was born in the city. Alright, so Ray Charles is born there. That should be on Bush Talk. Surprised it's not. Alright, there's our next waypoint there. It's PZD. We are 4.2 nautical miles away, which is about 2 minutes. We don't have to rush on changing the heading because we're actually on the right side this time as opposed to the left. Let's see what we're coming up with over here. Looks like a little suburban area. That.
Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha, contact Jacksonville Center on 134.45. Good day.
134.45 Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha. Goodbye. Jacksonville Center, Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha 3,000 feet.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha, Jacksonville Center, altimeter 29.87 radar contact. Continue to Papa Zulu Delta.
He's saying
Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha, you are 30 miles south. Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect RNAV runway 5 approach via route transition. Clear to route.
Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect RNAV runway 5 approach via route transition. Clear to route Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha.
Alright, so basically what he's saying is we're going to transition to a different frequency, which that is the frequency that we programmed in here for location number 1. And we're going to talk to them about our approach to runway number 5. And it should be the same thing that we planned, because we followed the landing approach protocol, or whatever you want to call it. Alright, we can probably go ahead and adjust our heading now. This was 353 is sort of the end goal here, but we're a little bit to the right, so it'll be a little different, but around there. And looking at Google Maps, nothing too much going on here. The town of Dawson will be to the left. There's Dawson Municipal Airport. If we wanted to make a pit stop there, it's only 7 miles away. But we'll keep on going to our destination here because this will probably be a long trip. we're gonna head up into the mountains of Georgia. First, our next stop will be Atlanta, I think. I think that's enough for a one-way trip, so that we can refuel and get back on track here. So right now our fuel is at 38% because we basically just kind of gave us enough fuel to get us to our next destination here and have a little bit extra, pretty much. Keep the weight down. Alright, and looking at our map here, so we started here, KVLD, and we're going to end over here at KACJ, and this is our plane here. So as I move across here, if I zoom out, you can see the entire flight plan starts here at KVLD, ends up in KACJ, and as we move, that little blue cursor kind of moves along, and these are the waypoints. And so we are pretty much going to hit this little, where it turns from pink to orange. This is our landing procedure protocol. So ATC will get a little more involved and kind of give us directions on what to do. And it looks like we're flying off course, so I should probably look to see where we're at here. Nope, I think we're still good.
Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha contact Atlanta approach on 124.2. Good day.
124.2 Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha. Goodbye. Atlanta approach Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra Alpha 3,000 feet.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra Alpha Atlanta approach altimeter 29.86 radar contact. Continue to route.
Alright, we can probably zoom in. Alright, we should be able to see some airport up here. Probably that one is going to be KAMR, which is America's Airport. So we're getting close.
Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha descend and maintain 2,600 feet.
Alright, so we got to descend to 2,600 feet.
Descend and maintain 2,600 feet Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha.
So we're going to do that. We're going to reduce our RPMs. Reducing our feet. And we'll turn that on. Yeah, America Airport. Or America's Airport is over there. Oh, I see. There we go. Now we should be able to reduce our altitude before ATC starts yelling at us. So we're just kind of maintaining our speed here pretty much at 2,600 feet, so we satisfied ATC. Yeah, I did mute the mic for a second. We are going to turn pretty sharp to the left. Because I think we lost our navigation lines. Alright, and we lost all of this, the estimated time and everything. Oh, because... No, I was thinking it because I had needed to switch to that. But, I don't know, we had a Garmin failure, I guess. So, just something you gotta deal with. Our next leg of the trip is 5.7 miles, so with that, I'm going to take that time to change out some batteries and something. And actually start the process now. Alright, so with losing the Garmin there, basically what I'm doing is on the flight planner, I'm seeing where we are from here. So we veered off to the right a decent amount because I didn't realize that the Garmin failed. Alright, so we got to reduce elevation again. We'll acknowledge that.
Descend and maintain 2,200 feet Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha.
We'll set it to 2,200. We'll give it a second, see if it moves. If not, we'll adjust our vertical speed rate. What is our speed right now? Oh, we can increase our speed a little bit. Maybe that's why it's not doing it. But now, we can also turn pretty sharp. Oh, I guess the white line is our flight path. Alright, muted the mic there because I'm still sick. And still got a little bit of a cough. We never did reduce our elevation. I'm surprised ATC hasn't yelled at us yet. Alright, so with this type of flying, as we're on the or approach the landing procedures for the destination, it's going to give us some additional instructions to follow.
Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha, you are 8 miles southwest of Kilo Alpha Charlie Juliet.
Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha. Kilo Alpha Charlie Juliet, traffic Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha is on final runway 5 to land.
I did not mean to say that.
Kilo Alpha Charlie Juliet, traffic Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha, 7 miles southwest inbound RNAV runway 5.
Alright, so we just announced our position. So we're 7 miles away from the airport. A little cloudy at this elevation, but there's the airport there. It's blinking. So we are right on track for it. As we get closer, what I'm going to do is disarm the Garmin navigation and do a manual landing on it. We can check the weather, maybe. Nah. But right now I can tell you that we are in a headwind of about 5 to 6 knots. So on this is actually the live weather. It's 6 knots, flip-flopping back and forth, and we are approaching the runway number 5 right there, and then we will pull off the runway and take taxiway A over to one of these parking spots, and we'll see what the airport looks like. Alright, so with that,
Kilo Alpha Charlie Juliet, traffic Cessna Alpha X-ray Golf Sierra Alpha is on final runway 5 to land.
Yeah, so that's it. That's the new flight plan that I found. Hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one as we go to Atlanta.